ready? Welcome back to Between Two Cheeks. I am Stacey Heller. I am joined by Brooke Kennedy. She's a master esthetician, the owner of Sweet Bee Hair and Skin Lounge in Issaquah. And apparently I'm not going to let her get a word in edgewise.
You do such a great job with introductions. I love it. Thank you.
Well, it's really the only expertise I have to offer really on the show. Because while you know so much about Brazilians and sugaring and like all of the things that you offer here, I have a strong lip and brow and a strong point of view, and that's about it. So we are going to talk about, the episode is called Bushwhacked, which is not to be confused with whacked bush, because there is no such thing as whacked bush. But bushwhacked, it's kind of like...
We just wanted to share some stories.
Yeah.
Of things that happen in the treatment room that are perfectly okay.
Okay. So, the things that I'm thinking that could potentially come up, because I myself am fearful about them, are, first of all, I know that in a few weeks here when this happens to me, I will be frantically wiping.
Wiping what?
Me. I'll be wiping me to prepare.
Oh, yes.
To make sure that I'm all like clean. So I would imagine hygiene. I sounds. I mean, I'm imagining some of the things that you deal with. So instead of imagining, why don't you just share?
So we did talk about how people will sweat profusely. Like it's just going to happen from nerves and pain.
And it's like everywhere, like down here. Like, am I going to have boob sweat? Am I going to have underarm sweat?
Whole body sweat. Because they're like,
awesome. I'm
so sorry, your sheet is now drenched. Which it's not drenched, but they just don't like the feeling of sweating.
So how am I going to hold my fupa taut if it's sweaty?
Well, I lay a towel right here, remember? Because we kind of block the area like that we're going to mark. So the towel is for the hands because people have to hold tautly. But I leave that towel because sometimes they have to wipe their hands, and I have to use it to wipe the area because
so I have sweating. A grip. I got a grip.
Yes.
Okay.
I will make sure that you have a grip. Absolutely.
Okay. Side note, because I'm good at side notes. When I was giving birth to our first child, my poor husband, you read the book and it's like, oh, bring a washcloth and make sure that you like wipe the sweat and this whole thing. For some reason, he decided he would like wipe off my hands, and I'm like, I need to get a grip. So that's kind of what that's reminding me of. So good to know. I will be able to get a grip. I
have learned that not every establishment provides a wipe beforehand, and then I feel bad for the esthetician if you do not, because we always tell people that they should wipe from front to back. And even with people and me providing the wipe, I have found dingleberries when I go to do the between the cheeks. So they will have Winnie the Pooh butt.
Okay, so
please make sure that you wipe your ass well.
So a dingleberry being like a confluence of toilet paper and poop, just poop, toilet paper. Like let's
I've seen it all, Stacey. All.
Okay.
I've seen toilet paper. I have seen shit.
Shit gets real quick. Okay.
So that happens. And when we do the between the cheeks, farting does occur. So just to warn you, you may fart. And I love it because they'll either, and I can see their anus go poof. And some people acknowledge that they farted. Some people will pretend it didn't happen. Some people will start laughing. Some people are mortified. I just mirror the client.
So
always mirror the client.
Handle it,
if they don't want to acknowledge it, I will just keep talking like I never saw that poof.
There was a TikTok recently of a little girl, I think, or some video that went viral where she farted and she responded by being like, did you hear that?
I've never had anyone do that. They just ignore it. They either laugh, are horribly embarrassed, or ignore it. Those are the top ones usually.
Okay.
So if they're laughing, I'm laughing, and I say it does happen. Like it happens.
Okay.
And I know that that's people's fear, so it's okay if you fart during your Brazilian. It's okay.
Okay.
Everyone out there, just know that.
So
you know what? Another thing that happens.
Yeah. Yes. There's more.
Queefing.
Oh.
But not everyone may know what a queef is. So I think it's Urban Dictionary time.
Last time we did this, I learned about the fupa. And note, I used it in a sentence for this episode. So really, this is an educational show. Okay, so queef, not to be confused with queen or beef. A queef is a little bit of air that gets caught in a woman's vagina. Sometimes it happens after you have intercourse. It can also happen if you just have a goddamn vagina. That's what it actually says here. And it is not something to be embarrassed about, because even if you're a girl and a virgin, it can happen to you. It sometimes happens when you walk, just because of the space between your legs. And I love the sentence that it's used in. This is like when you're in a spelling bee, like queef, Queef. Use it in a sentence, please. Oh crap, I just queefed. Don't worry, it's cute.
Thank you, Urban Dictionary.
Gotta love that. So, and it is kind of cute. Isn't it cute? So cute. I'm trying to make myself feel better in case it happens. I need to be prepared. Okay, so farting, queefing, dingleberries, sweating. So the hygiene thing is big. What about smells?
Sometimes there are foul odors, and you wonder how they do not know that their vagina smells. I honestly wonder that in my mind.
So question about that. Actually, many questions about that.
If I know them well,
is it usually a sign of something? Like if
pH can be off, bacterial vaginosis. There are things. They should go to the doctor.
Interesting. So it's not just like, oh girl,
No, it's not from hygiene. Like there's something going on.
That's what I'm curious about, because it sounds weird, but people have this idea that when you have lice, it's because your hair is dirty, and actually lice likes clean hair, and people associate. So I'm thinking that foul odor means foul habits, but that's not necessarily the case.
No, they could just have their pH off. But usually a woman knows if they have a funky odor there.
So do you have follow-up care? See your doctor about
If I know the person, I'll say something. Otherwise, I don't fully understand why they don't know. So I don't ever want to embarrass them. But if I do know them, I might say, hey, you might want to go get that checked out. So
on another side note, because I'm so full of you never get out of basically this this space, so you don't have time for this, but I get to see what's going on out there. And on an episode of Real Housewives of, I think, New Jersey, Teresa talks about the fact that she drinks a lot of pineapple juice because it makes her taste sweeter.
Ooh.
Down there.
Justin has told me that.
Really? Mm-hmm. So that's a thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
I want to know more. So definitely let us know about that. And I wonder if that affects the smell too. I don't know. Maybe you emit pineapple, like pina coladas. And walks in the rain.
My favorite between the cheeks, I have a lovely woman who will not disclose her age because I want to be like her when I grow up. So one time I asked, she goes, "You never ask a lady her age, Brooke."
Which tells me that she is definitely over 60.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that she's in her 70s. She is my oldest Brazilian client, for sure. And I haven't seen her since before COVID, and I miss her dearly. But she is a hoot, and I adore her so much. But when we were doing the Between the Cheeks, the very first time that she came in, she gets into the position, and then she's like, wink, wink. And I was dying.
That's amazing. That is totally amazing. Okay.
And I think the thing that surprised, so you know how Justin had mentioned on episode
whatever. Just in case.
Just in case, yes. That it doesn't hurt that bad. I think what surprises us is that everyone that works here, we all have a very high tolerance for pain. So we're able to hold a conversation while getting it done because we all trade on each other and whatnot. But there are screamers. Like, I have had a handful of screamers. And one was over at Markel's when I worked there. So all the hairstylists were just outside the door. And I literally felt like I was Dexter. I literally felt like I was an axe murderer. I was like, we can stop this service, because it was making me feel uncomfortable, because I felt like I was torturing her.
Was it their first time, or they just were?
First time, and she didn't want to stop. She wanted to get through it. I never did see her again. But it was like, I'm talking bloody murder scream.
Not like
to the whole
blood,
entire
right?
salon. It's like, like, it's just like...
This is the part where you say, like, it wasn't actually bloody nor murder. That's not why she didn't come back, because she was dead.
No, but it just like, I'm just like, wow. And then I don't know why you would want to continue doing something if it hurts that bad. But there are ladies of steel out there. Like, they won't flinch, they won't move. Then you get some people whose legs are just shaking the whole time.
Because they're having to hold them up. That's the most exercise I will have had in weeks.
They're just in yoga frog pose. Their body is just
yoga frog pose,
shaking. And then you have some people, they cannot keep so we put them in yoga frog pose, and they can't keep their knees out. So they constantly, so imagine having sugar that sticks. And so then they have to unstick themselves when they go out to spread again. And that hurts. Like, think of like little hickeys, like coming to the surface,
Oh, that's
I said, you do not want, that's why we have them hold too. It's like, keep those legs down. And then people always ask, do you ever get kicked, like when they're on their side or... And sometimes if I'm checking certain areas, I'll have them bring their knees to the chest just to make sure that I've got everything if I can't access it when they're on their side. And
when they're winking?
Or with the knees to the chest, right? For the classic bikini, the extended bikini. They're like, do you ever get hit? And I'm on guard. Like, I make sure that I can move out of the way. But no,
like,
I haven't been kicked
just
yet.
like...
Oh yeah, it's just a reflex.
Okay.
I've had one lady like hit me. She's my friend now. So I was giving her a Brazilian, and she literally like smacked me.
Like, damn, that felt good, or like,
and
like, damn, that hurt.
Sometimes they tell me I hate you right now, which I understand.
So it's basically akin to giving birth. Cool. So my story was.
But then
not
afterwards,
that
they love me.
Which is again like giving birth. Because afterwards, weirdly, you love the child. Okay, what else did we? What else? Okay, so we covered that you might stink a little, and if you do, maybe there's something going on. And
go get it checked out.
Hygiene, and so
and no caffeine beforehand, because we already talked about that.
Yep.
We were giving them advice.
But basically, between this episode and talking about some of the things that you've seen, and also talking about the periods and pregnancy episode, the whole other ball of wax, basically you've seen it all, and you are the, what do I want to say?
I'm a professional.
You're a professional. She's a professional, people. I am not. I will totally talk about it. So I think that's it. So I would be curious if anybody out there, maybe you are a waxer or you do sugaring or you've been in a situation.
Tell us your bushwhacked stories.
Tell me your bushwhacked stories. We want to know. Inquiring minds. In the meantime, continue to join us, listen in, and get in contact with us. You can go to betweentwocheeks.com. You can go to sweetbeehairandskin.com. Mm-hmm. You can follow us on social media. You can watch this if you're dying to know what Brooke looks like, because she's not actually wearing her full Dexter outfit. She's just in black. So
I'm in my uniform.
She's in her uniform, which is in black because it's professional and maybe because it's in mourning. Anyway, on that note, thank you so much for joining us. We always have fun.
Yes, we do. I love it.
Till next time.